So we want to ask you, how did you find the event today?
It was good for me because obviously Ashley's a Muslim and I'm a Christian, so it was nice for me to come and understand the other side of it. I do understand some of it, but not all of it. So it was nice for me and to understand that really everybody gets a bad word said against no matter what religion. So it's good for us all to come together no matter what we are, to remember that these extremists that pull in these young people and get them to go and do the things that they're not Muslims, they're not Christians, they're not anything. As far as I'm concerned, they're not in the right frame of mind, and that's why these people take them in and get them to go and do the things that they do. As for Paris, I do think that there are certain things you shouldn't put characters of, and one of them is religion. People menstruate, destroy it another way, so I don't think it's good to put them sort of things in the paper. So I'm not condemning what happened, but I do think that the paper should stop now putting the things and the cartoon characters to do with religion, because I think it's something that we shouldn't do. So I have enjoyed it a lot.
So do you think there's a need for this kind of
I think there's a need for it mostly for a lot of young boys and girls now, because they're very vulnerable at this time when they're leaving school and they don't know what they're going to do or whatever. And I think this is when these people try and approach them to go and be with them and give them a purpose, but it's not a purpose in life, is it? So I think this would be better to do for the younger community, to try and get them to understand why these people are doing what they're doing and how they're doing it.
So if you, after you leave this event and, maybe friends and family are asking you about it, do you feel confident to recommend that they attend?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite confident to say that, and I have a lot of people that work for me, and they're young and vulnerable people that come work for me, and I'm quite happy to say to them, look, you need to go and listen to what's being said, and not let these people try and take you in. So I'm quite comfortable to say that, and for them to come.
Is there any recommendations that anything you could recommend to pull in more?
I just think that you need to do more for the younger community. I think you need to put somebody out there to say, look, come and listen. This is what to look for. When somebody's trying to get you to go and do something you shouldn't, to do with whatever religion. So I think that's what you need to focus on now. Because I, as a mother, I do understand that, when Ashley went into being a Muslim, I was a bit, but I asked a lot of Muslims that live where we lived, I asked them all about it. I asked about what mosque he was going to, what was that mosque like. So once I knew the information that I needed, I was happy.
Thank you very much.
We don't want to ask them, we can tell them to take it out. Okay, so what brought you here today?
Just wanted to get a bit more insight of Islam. I have a lot of friends that are Muslims, and my ways, they believe is like Muslim way, but obviously it's haven't converted. So obviously they wanted me to come to get a better understanding, to ask questions that needed to be answered.
Do you feel like you benefited from the program today?
Yeah, I came a bit late, but obviously the stuff that I did here, it was beneficial.
Okay. So in terms of once you leave here, if you see more posters saying that there's more events going on, do you think you would sort of encourage other people to attend?
Yeah, I will. What I was trying to explain to the others, that I wanted to kind of get more views from a female perspective, and obviously the journey of transition.
Yeah.
Because obviously I do have certain beliefs, but I just want to just find out a bit more the whole change of my children changing into religious and myself changing into religious, not celebrating birthday, Christmas, Easter, how do you deal with that and not be able to drink, covering up. So I kind of wanted to hear their views.
Yeah, so so that was going on to my next question about how you would recommend any changes in the program. So your one would basically be to have more female representation. And is there anything else you would recommend?
Oh, that's what I recommend.
It's enough? Okay, great. Thank you for your time. So we just wanted to know what brought you here today.
My grandson, and I wanted to know the truth.
I've done my Shahada and that's it.
So how are you feeling since taking your Shahada?
I'm pleased that I'm not, because I just lost. I was Christian for 30 years, so
do you feel like programs like this help not just non-Muslims but Muslims that have recently come to Islam? Is there any recommendations that you would make for programs like this?
Well, this is really great, especially when you get the testimony. Because you hear how they came from. I was saying, I think I would like to go and then somebody said, if you don't want to come in, and I wouldn't. I think, I would like to go in and see everybody going in, but everybody wants to go in. I'm not really encouraged to go in. Yeah, I think
So you think as well as programs like this, maybe programs where people are actually introduced to the mosque and people that like are new who have come to Islam, if they can have like programs to introduce them and to give them more understanding of religion.
I've only got my grandson.
Well, you're welcome next door to Brixton Mosque anytime. We do have a lot of people, like a lot of new Muslims who come in and say, look, I've just become Muslim, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to pray, and most of the time there are sisters there that will sort of help you, so feel free any time. Or if you, the mosque has a number, if you phone it and let them know that you want to come at a specific time, then they can arrange for like specific women to be there for you, to help you, and women that have a bit more knowledge of religion and things like this. So don't feel shy. We always love when we have a new Muslim come in anyway.
I don't even know.
Yeah, so again, I was the same as well. You'll have someone, even just being in there, you have sisters that will teach you what to do, how to prepare yourself. So yeah, we all have a starting journey. So yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. What's it?
Yeah, so what brought you here basically?
Okay, personally, I was here because I already do cultural studies, so I study a lot of things about racial interactions and racial issues that way. I'm aware that the media portray Muslim in a very negative way at the moment, and it's been for quite a long time, and I wanted to get a view from actual Muslim people in my community, in the country I live in, to actually get a truer view of people that are living in the same space as I do, rather than taking my information from people that have got another agenda. Let's put it that way.
Hello. Obviously, same as what Jess already said, I find religion is one of the most important dominating factors that rule people's life and the world, and I want to have a good understanding of it. I find that meeting people and talking to them is a much better way to learn and find out more information. And the reason why I came is just because I thought it's a great opportunity to have a dialogue and to talk and to find out more about Islam, which I think is so important.
Yes, I also wanted to ask lots of questions, which I was allowed to do, and in a sort of safe and open-minded place, not in a place where you're going to be shut down, because it's open to non-Muslims. Obviously, it's open to receiving other ideas and other walks of life, which I thought was fantastic to be open in that way.
So do you feel like, because obviously this was set up as a meeting and a community dialogue, do you feel like you were able to ask questions freely, and do you feel like the answers you received, do you feel like they actually answered your questions? Because sometimes people feel like they ask questions but they don't really get enough of really what they want to hear and what they want to know? They feel like something was held back.
Initially, I thought Freya was going to be long, but she's not enough. And I would say that the only things that was not really answered that I couldn't ask was due to time, not due to the people. I was, yes, free to ask whatever I wanted. I didn't feel that I had to change my questions or not was allowed to not ask any questions. And I was answered to respectfully, fully, but the constraint of time was obviously a bit of an issue, but you can only do 3 hours, you know, that's not in your power really.
For me personally, coming to meetings like this is an opportunity to find out what Islam is really about. So for me personally, sometimes when we go off to talk about the media and things like that, which is obviously a very important factor, for me sometimes it kind of goes over my head because I'm a person who already understands this. So I like a little bit more referring back to what the Quran will say, because I don't have the opportunity to meet with Muslim scholars or Muslims who really know their religion well. So that's maybe a bit of a critique, but on the other hand, I think it was an excellent space to talk. I thought it was really good to hear what everyone had to say. I think there should be much more of these happening, and it would be good to hear more about the actual, you know, the actual teachings. What does it really say in the Quran? Of course, the context is important and what we presented in the media, but naturally people have real questions about what does the Quran say about apostasy, like I asked today. What does it say about, you know, women or implementing Sharia law in a country that's predominantly non-Muslim and things like that. So as much as context giving is very good, I think a lot of people that will come to these events already have some kind of an openness, and that we're probably more likely to be ready to be challenged a little bit further beyond explaining about the media, to explain, because that's the only opportunity we have to get to know you.
Yeah. So do you, if you, sorry.
No, just one thing that I think for me was lacking a little bit today. As activist feminist, I would say that I would have loved to have more from women and about women and the experience of Islam, because obviously that is one narrative we hear a lot, oppression and the niqab and like the way you dress, and which to me doesn't necessarily is oppressive, but there is an oppressive narrative around women. And as a feminist, I would like to have more of a view from women, by women and about women in Islam, to have a different narrative from what I hear from other people, you know, that's always say that women are oppressed, which talking to other Muslim women don't necessarily feel that way. So I guess that's something maybe that could be integrated maybe on the next meeting, I don't know, but something that could be, for non-Muslims, it's a very big question, I think, and something that needs to be, I think, discussed a bit more.
So if you know, in 2 weeks' time, a month's time, you saw posters advertising a similar event, would you feel like happy to sort of come again, and would you recommend it to others?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have touched on some recommendations. Do you have any other recommendations for?
I have some compliments. I thought it was excellent that you described the 5 pillars and then the 6 pillars of faith. I thought that's an excellent way to kind of get into foundation about Islam. I thought that was really excellent. So good start.
For me as well, what I really appreciated, because I was a little bit worried that it could be, again, maybe stereotype from my side, like you have to become a Muslim, and I'm quite happy with my way of thinking at the moment, so I'm not looking to have a faith. But it wasn't like that at all. People just explained to me, and also I really love the intellectual sort of dimension to it, with like people talking about politics, about media, about not just I believe because the Quran says, but also taking examples of like the media, how racial relations work, how oppression works and stuff like that, which obviously, like I said, I already studied, but it was really good to see there was a lot of knowledge coming from there as well. For me, it was brilliant meeting.
Thank you very much.
Can I add one last comment? I thought, you know, I think it's an excellent thing for a lot of people to attend, and I felt that there should have been much more non-Muslims present here today. And as much as I think it's probably a difficult task, on the other hand, I think it might be a great thing to do, which is either improve or change the ways that you're pushing the information out about the event, because a lot of more people should come, and maybe just depending even on the wording is you know, that or sticking posters or the way it's presented in social media and things like that would be great, because I think a lot more people could have benefited from this day. Thank you. Thank you.
Another youngsters.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you introduce yourself, inshallah?
My name's Ahmed. I'm 15.
I'm Walid, 16.
I'm Ayman, and I'm 14.
Are you from this community?
Yeah, around here in Brixton.
What do you think about the event?
The event was very informative.
As a young person?
As a young person, I was lost in between the Muslim view on things and the media, how the media displays it. And I was become brainwashed by the media. So like what was happening in Paris, they was like, oh, this is all Muslims. And I was just thinking, wow, why is everyone acting up like this? And then this has opened my eyes a bit more. It's made me gain knowledge. So I know how we have to carry out ourselves, and I know that it's not the Muslim way of dealing with things.
I found it like as well very important, because like I go to a non-Muslim school and having people like, you know, non-Muslims coming up to me asking questions about like my views and opinions of what happens in like Paris and stuff, and I didn't know how to answer. Now, with this event, I've gained the information that I need to like answer them.
As a young Muslim in this country, this area, as you know, there's a lot of things portrayed by other non-Muslims in the media, and basically it gives a bad idea to the non-Muslims. And now, with this information that I've seen today, when people ask me, I can give a good information to them because of the information that I've gained today. And it was very, I was happy that I attended, and I was also happy for the other people that attended. But I feel that other people should have came, and I think there should be another event, and if there's another event, I'll try my hardest to like bring non-Muslims.